Hey, what's up, guys? My name is AJ. First and foremost, happy 2026. Hope you guys all are gonna have a great, blessed year this year. And just making this video just because for me, it's like, I want to tell people to take a risk, take that jump. Why not? For me, I just moved to Dallas recently, and grew up in the Northeast New York my whole life, and decided why not move to a place sight unseen that I've never been to, never even visited. Just contacted apartment locator, was able to get a virtual tour of the spot, thought it looked nice, and why not sign a lease. And so yeah, I got approval and decided to take that risk, take that jump, you know. And realistically, it's like did a bit of traveling in the past couple of years, and almost didn't even realize, but like just was such in a bubble of like where my surroundings were in my life, and like the environment I was in, that like once I traveled a bit from like Europe to Asia to South America and Africa, and just realizing that you know a lot of life coming back after that, and like just going to the office, going to same cafes, walking the same paths in life, or like my typical like day-to-day life, and realizing like how mundane like our life really is, and like the things we do, and how much we don't really shake it up. And so that kind of changed my mind to like want to take that risk of like moving my environment and like moving away from like where I was. And initially after that I was like, oh, I'm just gonna move overseas, blah blah blah. But decided it's probably better now for me to at least move somewhere else in the US that I have never been to, like it's very new, and no support system, no family, friends, just so I could get like a similar feel of at least like being in an environment out of my bubble that I felt very comfortable and complacent in. And I don't know if anyone else was like that, but it's like, especially if you're working corporate America, it just feels very like, oh, like just trying to climb the corporate ladder, get that like raise and promotion. But then it really just feels like keeping up with the Joneses, because you also have like in your social circle other people like you know in that similar like um, bubble, and that similar company ladder they are climbing as well. And like once you get a little extra money, lifestyle creep gets at you, and you're not even end up saving it anymore. You tend to like spend a little more money, not even realizing on like things. And yeah, because you be very materialistic, especially like in a big city. And so at least moving here in Dallas is like New York is like, oh, you're trying to like who has like a nice penthouse, a nice high rise building that they're living in. But here is like, if anything, it's like kind of the opposite. Things are a bit more spread out. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say like, oh, you don't see materialism out here at all, because you're going to see that like obviously like everywhere in the world at the end of the day, but just not as big of a in your face as like certain places like a big city like New York City or LA or Chicago, whatever. But like out here is a little more separated and not as flashy in your face as it was in the surrounding I was in. And so just decided, yeah, let me take the risk, switch things up in life. Honestly, you only have one life. I just turned 27 recently, and so for me, it's like before I have a family and kids and wife, it's like if not then, like if not now, then it probably won't happen. Like once I have all those responsibilities to try to take care of as a decision like this won't be as easy. And so he decided why not. Also, it might be my ADHD, but like I like at least trying like hard things. And like I don't know if maybe if anyone else was like that too. If like you're working in corporate America, or like just working as an adult, like a job that might feel like a bit mundane, and like so like your life might feel mundane, like doing the same paths, just like doing this same things, going to the same gym or cafes, etc. But then also like the work you're doing could be like kind of mundane and repetitive, and it's not like anything that's mentally stimulating you or challenging. And so like life could really just kind of get complacent, and like just somewhat in a way feels very boring, I guess you could say that word. But yeah, I decided why not, like at least if work or certain parts of my life might still feel like that way, at least put myself in an environment situation where at least I feel like challenged, try something new, do different things, try hard things in life. Like shoot, if you want to sign up for like go to like country solo you never been to, do it. Why not? Even though you might, like for me, like I'm introverted, so that's kind of something scary. But like doing something like that, it like really challenges you, pushes you out your comfort zone. Or like signing up for like an event, like maybe you don't like running, but oh, let me try like a 10K for the first time, or half marathon, something like that, just to really force yourself to try something that you think is hard. And because really like one of the biggest things that really limits us is our brains, our minds, because we really are all capable of doing more than we think we can. And that's something also I learned, like as a personal trainer, and it's like working with a client, and they're like, oh, I can only do 8 reps, and it's like, oh, you think you can, but then if I'm telling you like push like you could do more and seem like they could like crank out at least like a couple more reps and like it's clean as well as like knowing that their mind makes them limits them to thinking they can only do like a certain amount, but realistically like when you're pushing someone and like giving them the extra motivation, they're able to see that they're more capable of doing more than they thought they would be able to. And we all pretty much we could take that aspect in terms of like do more reps in the gym, but like anything we think in our life, if we think you can limit yourself to making a certain amount of money a month, or completing like a goal, like running a certain length, or I don't know, just learning a new skill. Like you are capable of doing more than we think we are. And so for me, that was what kind of pushed me to try to move here at least. So it was like now since I'm forced to be in a new area, a new place I've never been to, no friends, no family, like I'm forced to like actually push myself harder than I'm normally like would think I wouldn't. Like now, I probably wouldn't be recording a video like this because I'm like, oh, I'm random weekend out, like weekend. I just spend time with friends and like after like work, just we can go out and just hang out instead of like now being forced to at least try something new, take a risk. Like I don't know really how to edit much. I'm gonna try to edit this together, make a YouTube video, but just things like that. That when you're out in your comfort, in your normal like comfort zone and environment, it's gonna force you to try something new and put yourself out there more. And so that's kind of what pushed me to do this. And so anyone else that's watching this who's a little on the edge, should I take that new job or move to a new place or change my environment, location? I think it's really a great thing to at least consider and take the risk on, just because it's better to fail than have regrets at the end of the day. Because at least with like failing, you're able to know like what didn't work versus regretting. You never know, and it's like something that will always eat at you, wishing you did something and not knowing what the outcome could have been. And so for me, that's as I'm getting a little older and think I'm getting at least wiser, thinking how I can force myself to take more risk, but at least just calculate in a way like smart risk, not like dumb. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me quit my job and like throw all my life savings like on some like gambling bet. But you know what I'm trying to say. But basically like take calculated risk, get out your comfort zone, try things you think normally you wouldn't try, because at the end of the day, life is too short just to like live a very complacent, mood in life. And maybe some people can enjoy that, but for me, I guess like opening my eyes to different, places in the world and the country, and seeing how much of a bubble I felt like in life, I'm realizing like I don't want to continue to be in that bubble. And so that what kind of prompted me to move out to here in Dallas, Texas. So yeah, anyone else that's watching this, or anyone that's watching this might feel like that, you could comment down below. Maybe if you move somewhere else, like, or where did you move from, like your experiences so far, how you're enjoying it so far. And anyone that's contemplating that, definitely like let me know, and we call hopefully all have a great year 2026 ahead. I feel like at the end of the day, life is short, and so take that risk. See ya.